Well, I would say, first of all, thank you to the people of Atlanta and to the people of the Peach Bowl. This has been a fantastic week. The hospitality has been incredible. They've certainly treated us like kings, and there's been nothing that we've needed that we haven't gotten. They've certainly gone overboard for us, so we really appreciate it. And going to the College Football Hall of Fame, by far for me, the history of college football, and unfortunately now at my age, I'm part of that history. But it was really quite an event last night.
Glad you enjoyed that, Coach. All right, we're going to go ahead and jump right into questions. We'll take our first question from Graham Couch. Go ahead, Graham.
Randy, question about Peyton Thorne and what you see from him as a quarterback, sort of developing through the season as a first-year starter. What you saw from him early and maybe late, and your evaluation of what he brings.
Well, Graham, I believe being a son of a football coach, that there's no better position for a son of a coach than a quarterback, and I believe you see that in him. He is a coach on the field. He sees things before they happen. I believe he's a great leader, and he runs that offense efficiently. I also think he's a very good athlete. He runs very well, way better than you want him to, and is as accurate as any quarterback we've seen this year. So it doesn't surprise me a lick that they're one of the top 10 teams in the country based on watching him play and lead their offense.
Thank you.
All right, we'll take the next question from Jonathan Schopp. Go ahead.
I think you're on mute, Jonathan.
Yeah, Jonathan, I think there might be something wrong with you. Yep.
There might be. Can you hear me at this time?
Yes.
Okay,
yes, sir.
Sorry about that. What's it like to coordinate a defense for Pat Narduzzi, a guy that had a lot of success coordinating a defense, has his own thoughts and philosophies, and how important is it that you guys are all on the same page in putting together the defense you want to run?
Well, Jonathan, the beautiful thing about working with Coach Narduzzi is that I have a mentor that I can rely on to go over and ask questions. He comes in and we talk about the defense and where we want to go, what we want to do. I specifically came to Pitt to run his defense and learn it. I was at a rival school for 12 years and was able to watch him over the years, love the defense. And so, I've embraced the idea of learning the defense. We've probably moved a little farther over the last 4 years with the defense and evolved it, but it's a fantastic relationship, and we both work together to figure out what we want to do week to week, and then Coach is obviously also on offense, so he bounces back and forth, but he's a great mentor to be able to go to with a lot of experience in the defense.
All right, we'll go next to Jim Hammett. Go ahead, Jim.
Randy, thanks for your time. Obviously Walker is not playing for Michigan State, but what kind of still stands out about defending the run when you play Michigan State?
Well, I believe they're a big offensive line. They're a typical Big Ten offensive line. They're physical, they're athletic, and I believe they still have plenty of good backs in their system. I believe it's a good system offense, so I don't see them losing a lick of running ability. Walker was a great running back, but I believe based on what I see, they'll still run the same offense and run it just as efficiently. It'll be a real challenge to stop them, John.
All right, next up is going to be Johnny McGonigal. Go ahead, Johnny.
Yeah, Randy, just looking at this defense over the last really few years, big picture, right? Second right now in sacks in the country. I believe you guys finished, tied for second or third the last two seasons. I mean, what has it been really the last 3 years getting after the quarterback and creating havoc? That's, how have you guys really been able to do that?
Johnny, I think it's a mindset that we have as a defense. We talk all the time about going and making big plays. The guy who leads the country in tackles usually isn't a guy that anybody knows because they're not very good on defense. The guys that we know that are making big plays, tackles for loss, sacks, interceptions, those are guys that move on to the next level. And so we talk as a defense about making big plays. And I love you said the word havoc, because that's kind of our mantra with defense, is that we try to create a lot of havoc, affect the quarterback, affect the running back, and really, quite frankly, we try to affect the offense with the way we play.
If I could follow up on that, how impressive you've been with the linebackers specifically this year in doing that and creating havoc when, obviously your defensive line has gotten after it too, but losing guys like Patrick Jones and Rashad Weaver, to have, Phil Campbell, Cam Bright, Johnny Patrician, these guys get after the quarterback this year.
Well, Johnny, as we talk about it, we don't talk about a specific player or a specific position. If a linebacker makes a sack or a tackle for loss, it's probably because the other 10 guys did their job so well. So, when a Servassier Dennis goes and makes a tackle for loss, probably Haba Baldonado did just as good a job and maybe forced it back in to him, or Kalijah Cansey did the same thing. So don't get me wrong, I'm very impressed with them, but this is a 11-man operation, and the beauty of college football is this is the one sport where one guy doesn't make a difference. It's 11 guys. And so, as a group, that's why I believe we've been good on defenses, because we play as a group of 11, not as a group of one playing within a group of 11.
All right, we'll go to the next question to Jerry D. Paola. Go ahead, Jerry.
Here you go. Randy, how are you today?
Hi, Jerry. How are you?
I'm doing great. I was wondering about this year's defense, and what you said they played together. Okay. How difficult is that for a coach to get kids to play together when a lot of kids want to get sacks and want to show off for the NFL?
Well, I believe, Jerry, it's becoming more and more difficult because of social media. And not to put you guys down, but sometimes you guys you make it even more difficult as a coach, because we talk about how great they are, how good this or that is, and ultimately the most important thing for a young person in the game of football to understand, as you just heard me talk about, is this is an 11-man game. And so our mantra this year is we, not me, as you guys know. And so I'm constantly reminding the one person in the room that we are playing for each other and we're playing together as 11. And so that's kind of my job, quite frankly, Jerry, is that I'm reminding everybody that we are being successful because I had a great play, but I had a great play because the other 10 guys are doing their job. And so when you play as one in a group of 11, good things happen.
If I may follow up, Randy, in your career, have you had a hard time getting that message across to your players? Not just maybe in Pitt, but maybe anywhere else?
There have been years that it's been more and more challenging. I believe this year this group has come together more than any that I've seen for a long time. And so they've kept focused. They've kept focused on what's important, and that's why we've had success.
Thank you.
We'll take our next question from Alan Cole. Go ahead, Alan.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yep.
Alan.
Great. Connor Hayward's a guy Michigan State's kind of used in a lot of ways this year, across the formation, running the ball, catching the ball. What kind of challenge is a guy that can just kind of do a little bit of everything present for your defense?
Boy, Alan, he is a great athlete. He can run the ball, he can catch it, he makes good moves when he does catch it. He's a good blocker. It's certainly not surprising since he's got such good bloodlines with his family, obviously. We get to see, I believe, his brother every day out there on the field, at practice for the Steelers. So it doesn't surprise me a lick. But, yes, he's a multiple athlete, and he gives you many challenges because of that athleticism.
All right, we'll go next to Jim Hammett.
Randy, I know you guys play a lot of cornerbacks this year, and obviously Damari Mathis is not playing. So how have the other guys kind of stepped up this week, without him there? And has it kind of been like a preview going into what it's going to look like with life after Damari?
Well, sure. We didn't have Damari last year either with the injury. So, but we have played a lot of guys all the way through. I haven't seen a lick of problems at all. We've played all of the guys that will be playing in the game, many snaps. So I don't think you'll notice a great difference. Damari was a great athlete and a great football player, and certainly will be missed. But the next man up, and we won't have a bit of trouble, I don't believe. AJ will step right in, and MJ Devonshire, we've got plenty of good depth there. So I believe those kids will go out there and play great.
All right, I think we've got time for one or two more for Coach Bates. Any more questions, please get into the queue. All right, we'll go back to Jonathan.
Coach, Western Michigan game was a long time ago now when you think about it. But when you look back at that and how your season has progressed from that point, what are some of the lessons from the Western Michigan game that stand out?
Well, Jonathan, there's many of them, and I would say when you talk to our athletes after you talk to me, I've reminded them all along that the most important thing about a setback like that is learning from it and continuing to improve because of it. And I believe that's something that our athletes have done a great job of, is learning from the problems that we had in that game and then moving on from it. And that was the most critical thing. And I believe we've done that. And I think that's why we've had success, is we've not forgotten that we had that game. And, we had some issues that we've corrected, and we've moved on from it and gotten to be a better football team because of it.
All right, we'll take our final question from Johnny McGonigal.
Yeah, Randy, throughout the season, has there been a guy or two on the rocks on the scout team for your defense that has impressed you?
Those guys roll in so much, Johnny. It's hard for me to tell you a specific guy on offense that has, has really done it. The whole group, though, I will say to you this: we've probably had the best group of rocks, our scout team, that we've ever had. Those guys have embraced their role more than any. And our offensive line, they get beat up every day by Haba and Kalijah and all those guys, and they keep coming back and doing a great job. And I would say there's certainly kudos to that group, because that group has helped us to be better, and as a group probably made us better because it's been the best group we've had.
All right, Jerry, we'll give you the last question here, Jerry.
Thank you very much, Matt. Randy, you were at Northwestern a long time, and you had some success there, and you had a secure situation. You came to Pitt to be a coordinator, but was there anything beyond the fact that you had a chance to be a coordinator that attracted you to the Pitt job?
Well, being a more aggressive defense, we were a very vanilla, more of a base type defense at Northwestern, and the aggressiveness of the defense that we're running now is really the thing that attracted me the most, Jerry. And I believe to go back to the question that was asked earlier about the sacks and tackles for loss, that's what I embrace as a coach. That's kind of my mentality, and so it fits in very well with what I believe is a defense coordinator.